Hi Naomi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Josh. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk about what I think is a very timely and very important film today.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I wanted to start off by asking, obviously, throughout this film, your character Amy is on her own. She is very isolated. And of course, you as a performer, apart from those voices on the other end of the phone, were also alone on set. So did that really help you to get into this character's mindset, to tell this story?
Yeah, I mean, I did plenty of research going into it. I wanted to know what it would be like. Unfortunately, it is the nightmare of every parent, and um, there's enough information, sadly, because of stories playing out um, oh too frequently. Yeah, so just trying to understand that, and then being alone. Yeah, but I think mostly being a parent and imagining the absolute unimaginable was what got me there. And Who would you be in that story? That's kind of why I wanted to put myself into the shoes of a woman like this, as horrific as the story is and confronting as it may be for an audience. It's part of what's happening in our lives. And I wanted this story to reflect that truth that we don't dare imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a very hard-hitting role, as you say, but also a very physical one as well for you because there's a lot of running involved. It seems like you're in very difficult forest terrain. So what was that side of things like in terms of preparing?
And again, I prepared, and then you're in the situation, and then it's like, oh, well, this is even more challenging than I ever would have imagined. I used to run. I consider myself a fairly athletic person. My body doesn't work in quite the same way that it used to. I did gear up, do some, big training in the gear up to it. But yeah, then we figured out when we were on set that doing these really long takes was the best way to shoot it. Sometimes like 12, 15 pages, and which meant running for 2 or 3 miles. And But it worked because the exhaustion would help you access the emotions which were also unraveling, and the doubt and the fear and the guilt and the all kinds of things, along with the physical exhaustion. It just worked best in our favor in terms of the tension building.
Yeah, I can imagine. And on another note, just quickly, as I know we're limited on time, The Impossible found a new audience on Netflix during the pandemic. And I know you've always been very vocal about supporting Tom Holland's career on social media, but I'm curious, what's it like for you to see him in a role like Spider-Man, where obviously that last film's grossed almost $2 billion in this pandemic era we find ourselves in? So what's it been like for you to watch that?
So wonderful. I'm so happy for him. I always knew that Tom would go on and have a pretty outstanding career. I didn't think of Spider-Man. Um, that's just, not something that came to mind, but I knew that he had all of the goods. This is a kid that, was doing his first movie, had unbelievable access to emotions. He had great discipline, and whether or not that comes from, his dance and athletic background, I don't know. He had a really great family. They're a really solid team of people that, they're supporting him. Um, he's off on his own now, of course, but I just having a really good foundation, that's you're gonna be up for all of the challenges in our industry that play out if you've got a good family. So it doesn't surprise me, is what I'm trying to say.
Amazing. Well, Naomi, thank you so much for your insights on that and into this really amazing, as I said, very impactful film. So great to hear from you. Such a pleasure to speak to you. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Nice to
Great
talk.
day.